My name is Paul Kennedy. I am the Director of Environmental and Social Performance at the Millennium Challenge Account-Liberia. I joined the Millennium Challenge account about a year now, and we are working on the Millennium Challenge Corporation and the Republic of Liberia Compact. A couple of directors before me have probably provided an overview of the compact, but just a brief detail of it. In 2015, the Government of the Republic of Liberia and the Government of the United States of America signed a compact to address specific areas in our Liberian economy. And the overall goal of the compact is to improve economic growth by empowering private sectors. So the compact addresses energy project and the roads project. Of course, in the energy project, the compact is looking at 4 interconnected activities, including the Marcoffee rehabilitation activities, the Marcoffee support activities, the LEC training center activity, and the energy sector reform activity. Those activities have already, most of them have been conducted and ongoing in the same project. But then another specific was the roads project, which comprises 2 major activities, the national road maintenance activity and the road sector reform activities. Now, the ESP, which is the Environmental and Social Performance Department goal, is to ensure that we manage the environmental risks and impact of every activity that will be within this compact. Our sole responsibility is to ensure that the compacts and all of these projects adhere to the International Finance Corporation environmental and sustainability guidelines, the Millennium Challenge Corporation environmental and sustainability guideline, and of course the Government of the Republic of Liberia Environmental and Social Protection Act. So we are working with all of the departments and organizations within the compact that are working on the compact project to ensure that they are within those guidelines and adhering to those regulations that are provided by all of the arrangements that hold into place as guidelines for those projects. As far as our compact, ESP specific goal to the compact is concerned, we are in task to identify, prevent, avoid, and where possible reduce and or mitigate all environmental and social impacts of the compact. And so I just named 2 activities, major activities, the energy activity and the roads activity. Well, under the IFC performance standards, environmental performance standards, the energy activities was put under the category A for its activities impact on the community. According to those studies that was conducted by the under the environmental and social impact assessment, the energy sector activity will cover a large portion of where the communities and the environment sit. And because it's under category A, it means that there's a higher likely possibility that the compact, the energy sector activity will impact community around the hydro area. So we're giving key considerations and ensuring that those activities do not adversely affect the community within those areas. So we identify, prevent, and reduce, if possible, mitigate all environmental and social risks and impacts that are associated with compact activity. 1, we have to identify opportunities to enhance project benefits so that communities around the compact areas are also benefiting as a result of the activities that are going on, including making sure that they have a restoration in livelihood, or that their water quality are improved, and that the natural vegetation around the compact area is not affected by our activity. If they are affected, it is our responsibility to make sure that they are reinstated to a better quality of standard. We also have to ensure that compact activities are in compliance with the Liberian Environmental Protection Law, as I mentioned earlier, the MCC environmental guidelines and the IFC performance standards on environment and sustainability. But then we are also ensuring that all contractors get the appropriate licensures, permits, and certifications required to promote and lead the environmental and social sustainability of the project through its lifespan. ESP, which is the environmental and social performance, have been conducting a series of projects around the Mankofe area, where of course the project has impacted about 22 communities. 17 of those communities have been identified as being in very close proximity to the compact. The first thing that have been done there, that was done there on the compact activity was to relocate 3 of the villages that were directly impacted by the spillway. The spillway is the area that was going to be covered under the hydro and the dam rehabilitation. So they moved those communities, Buze Quarter, Vonjama, and another village that was directly positioned within the compact project area. Those villages were moved into one village now that is called Unification Town. That town is just a couple of miles, less than a mile in fact, above the reservoir area. That project was completed, and the residents or communities involved were relocated to that community, the new community now. But we, under the ESP, they also went ahead to build new pathways and structures, including small-scale infrastructures like bridges, culverts, roads, and even giving some rock diversions or road diversion where it was necessary that the roads were diverted to a new location. We went ahead and did that, working along with the project implementation unit of LEC, which is called PIU. So couple of projects were conducted. Now PIU term is over, but we as MCA, the Millennium Challenge Corporation, is still working with communities around the Mankofe area. And so there are several projects that we've established out there that we're going to be working on. For instance, we have the community-based natural resource management project. That project aims to improve the community performance as far as agriculture is concerned by developing new improved agricultural methods in the various communities. So for instance, if the community before the rehabilitation of the dam was working with burning charcoal, for instance, cutting down trees as a factor to their livelihood, now we are working with them to help improve or restore their way of living. Since because of the new project, the establishment there, which is the dam, we really don't want to encourage people cutting down trees and reducing the vegetation. So we are going to be working with them in training them how to get involved in cassava farming, for instance. So we're bringing new variety of cassava. We're going to do agriculture demonstration. We're going to work with the various community, put them in community co-ops, and they are going to have cassava agriculture implements and tools and agricultural seedings and all the things that will help them to facilitate their involvement into agriculture. We are looking at aquaculture, farming in different varieties, cassava farming, for instance, potato farming. We are even looking at harvesting and breeding honey around that area, because we see that honeybee also is a part of the new advanced kinds of technology, agriculture development around West Africa. So we've done some studies and we are considering to involve them, all of which is intended to improve improve the economic activities around the community in Makofe where the hydro has been rehabilitated. And the communities are working with us in these areas. We are looking in the future to bring tourism in that community. Now you have a very nice dam sitting in that location. We also want the community to get to see for the first time how the dam operates, where the country is getting electricity from, and all of that. So we are looking into bringing that. But for the most part, the watershed management, we want to manage the Simple River watershed. If you have a $160 million investment on the river, you certainly want that river to be managed well, so that people don't go up the stream and cut big logs and throw them down the river that may come running down to interfere with the hydro and the reservoir. So we'll be doing that, but we'll also be hoping to work in restoring the dam to reduce sedimentation from going into the reservoir and all of that. So those are all projects that we have under the community-based natural resource management. But there is also the water and sanitation project. After the dam's empowerment, the community's way of living as far as utilization of the Simple River had changed now from that point on, because the river now has been impounded, and the river bed has actually extended to certain area. Folks used to do laundry, and some people even go to take shower in the river, but that we have to manage well to avoid them from interfering with the river flow or bringing sedimentation into the river. So we have to improve their water and sanitation program. PRU, under the LEC, actually initially constructed a lot of wells, about 17 of them, into the 17 communities. What we're going to be doing with the water and sanitation project there is to go back to review some of the work that PRU has done and how MCA can go back to complement PRU activity. We are looking at building additional well where there will be needs. We'll be doing behavioral health communication as far as open defecation management will be concerned. We'll be working with the communities on proper hand washing and all of those community health implications that we're going to be working to make sure that our communities are learning and or working with. That's on water and sanitation to help improve their overall water quality. And then there's currently an ongoing fish monitoring projects of the Simple River. Of course, normally before the dam was impounded and the hydro reservoir got rehabilitated, there was a movement of fish, rockfish, and all other species of fish that are in the Simple River, that area, moving up and down freely. But now you have put a dam into the river, which hinders to a certain extent the fish flow. Now our studies will tell us whether the fish has been extinct or whether they are even freely moving, and how could communities up the stream, up the dam, still have access, because a lot of the communities around there were doing fishing as a source of protein. So if the fish lower the dam are not coming back up, that could be an economic constraint for the people who are living upstream, since they are dependent also on the fish for daily nutritional and other economic subsidies. So we are working, and at the end of this fish monitoring study, they're going to tell us what's needed to be done to ensure that we still have the kind of fish we have in the Simple River, so that it does not interfere, or our projects do not impact their environment and extinct them for any reason. Another project under the environmental management is the White Plains Water Pipeline. You know, LWSC, the Liberian Water and Sewage Corporation, actually has a facility that is getting water, about 16 million gallons daily, that supply Monrovia. Now, when the hydro was built in 1968, the LWSC also came in around the same time, built a water supply pump from lower the hydro. Because the hydro is impounded at a certain location, about 5 kilometers above the water treatment plant in White Plains, water volume is lower at that end, and then we have, at a certain time of the year, we have the Atlantic Ocean, especially in the dry season, backing up into the St. Paul River to as far as White Plains, where we have the national municipal water supply coming out of. And because of that, there have been complaints of salt into the water. So what the Millennium Challenge account is looking at now is addressing that issue by moving the intake, raw water intake from the lower till raise of the dam into the dam reservoir. That is going to help to reduce the salinity in the water, and that is also going to help to reduce the issue of consuming power to pump water into the raw water intake, because at that point now into the reservoir, the water level is elevated, and gravity is going to naturally just bring the water flow into where the water comes from White Plains to Monrovia. So those are just a couple of some of the projects we are working with communities around there on. It is our hope that these projects will get the full participation and involvement of the communities around there. In fact, we've started working with the director of communication at the MCA to work to talk to communities. We are engaging communities on their participation. We providing them an overview of the projects, and they're just very happy to have us work with them in those areas, building their capacity to be able to do activities and even getting involved in the daily work that have been going on there. As we speak now, some of our activities have actually employed some of the locals from around some of those communities near the Mount Coffee area, and they are economically benefiting as far as salary take home is concerned and all of that. So we are, by 2021, in January, our project will be coming to an end. We anticipate that we will be unfolding several projects. We want the Liberian community to be involved as a whole. In fact, our projects are listed and published on DG Market and the Millennium Challenge Account website. And anyone who has the capacity to conduct some of these consultancy or contracts, everyone is encouraged to go out on our website to download the information and actually apply to the procurement, go through the procurement process to be a part of this. The interest of the Millennium Challenge account is to ensure that every Liberian is a part of this process. And the way we've been doing it is spreading the information out by various media outlets and to help the community be aware of some of the work we are doing. You can go to our website at mca.gov.nr and to get more information on our daily projects, our activities, and everything we're doing for the Mount Coffee rehabilitation and Mount Coffee support activity. Thank you all very much. Hope to talk to you soon.